Hey there. The shave we're going to do today is going to be with the Rockwell 6S with a feather platinum blade in it, which has been used 4 times already. 5th shave now. The brush will be a Whipped Dog Silvertip Badger, pre-soaked in hard water. I'm going to shake almost all the, well, I'm going to give it a good shake, put it that way. The soap that we're going to use today is from Stirling, and it's their version of Old Spice, their attempt to recreate the Old Spice fragrance, which I really enjoy. That whole genre of fragrances like bay rum and all that. The bay rum that has too much clove I'm not too fond of, but otherwise I think it'll be good. Alum block over there on the wall if I need it. Witch hazel is going to be my after. So I am going to take the bloom water and kind of use it to clean my face like a pre-shave. Be right back. All right, so the when it was dry, here's the Stirling soap. When it was dry, the color was the darkest color that you might see, which is a little bit on the beige side, but then it lightened up when it was blooming. Out of the jar, it smells very cologne-y. I think they got very close to that Old Spice scent, but it's been so long since I smelled it. Couldn't say for sure. And so I will take my soap and start loading the brush. The other Stirling soap that I've used is the like Sweet Smelling Man, the Well Dressed Man, something like that. Yeah, Well Dressed Man or Sharp Dressed Man, something like that. Yeah, I think Sharp Dressed Man. It was very well. It worked well with hard water, so I expect this will be the same. For some of my soaps, I started using distilled water, and for some of them, it made a huge difference in the lather. Very happy with the other Stirling soap. This is my first use of this one. It's not a these two that I've had have not been super hard pucks. You can press down on them and there's some give to it, and you can move it around. So you could hook out like an almond sized amount, put it in your shaving bowl. I think I'm going to be a kind of person who likes the to lather in the jar here a little better. I think that'll be enough. Probably too much, probably plenty. And then since I shook out a good bit of water out of my brush, just to make sure I don't overwater, I'm going to add maybe about 2 teaspoons, teaspoon and a half of water to my bowl, because I'm pretty confident that that's going to be used up with the soap. At least I hope that's the case. Saw an online tutorial about starting out dry being a good advantage to new latherers, to make sure that they don't make it too watery. Just gradually, and it was great. The videos were terrific because you see different people just adding, 5 drops at a time, and then you see what a difference it makes in the lather. Usually by this point, I've got some creamier lather than this. This is still kind of light, so I'm thinking no, you know what may have happened is I may have added exactly the right amount of lather. I'm sorry, the right amount of water to match the soap I had on my brush. Whereas in the past it starts out a little creamier, but then I have to add water as I go a little bit, because it is coming up. It's got a real nice sheen on it. This bowl is a Dollar Tree dog bowl. I pressed the Green Irish Tweed scent, which is that Sharp Dressed Man from Stirling, is what I mixed up the other day. I had put some of the soap in the bottom of this bowl, and I had put, yeah, it's coming together. I'm happy. I don't think I added too much water. And I had put some on the sides of the bowl because my thumb was having kind of a hard time getting the right angle in there to really press it off my thumb. And then I mixed up the lather and it looked good. It was a little bit wetter than I would like, but still very, very functional, still lubricative and enjoyable, thick enough on the face. And then I discovered that, yeah, there we go. Then I discovered when I rinsed out my bowl after the shave that the soap that I had put on the sides had not been integrated into the mix. And I had even done a few side runs to try to, because I knew I had put it there, and I was, trying to scrape it off with the brush, but it wasn't enough like it was on the bottom of the bowl. So there's a little tip for you. Yeah, see, look, this is coming up very nice. I think I may have guessed exactly right at the water on this thing. Oh, that is so glossy. Nice fragrance. Always smells different in the bowl, almost always. Yeah, I like that. Very good. It's not immediately jumping out to me as, as too similar to Old Spice, but it did when it was in the jar. So, noses can get overwhelmed with fragrances. Sometimes I like to smell my underarm or, something else kind of different to reset my nose. You can do that with coffee beans if you happen to have an old cup of coffee around. So I was right. This is generating tons of lather. And there's still more in the bowl. That's great. I don't think I need to mix too much more than that. Nice fragrance. All right. Oh, now I'm gonna go back to the jar. Yeah, I smell, that's so interesting because I smell a few different, I guess because it's more concentrated, right? That's got to be what it is. Right. So the razor is loaded, so this is good to go. I'm going to do a rinse in preparation for the application of the lather. There we go. All right. Yeah, that smell is coming out. That's good. This brush I've used, I don't know, 10 times. 15. I'm just guessing. So it's not quite as broken in as my others. This particular lather is kind of going on kind of dry, more so than some of my others, but I'm cool with that because it just feels like a layer of nice protection. I hope that someday I learn about the things like cushion and glide, those kind of things, so I can talk intelligently about those. Yeah, I like that fragrance. That's good. It's very subtle. You know, I wish I could. Let me smell the concentrated version, see if I can describe it a little bit more. I mean, other than what you see on the website. Green. Not too much, you know, musk. Not too much wood. A little bit of soapy notes. But there's got to be some other things in there to kind of round it off, to give it some base. I'm not good enough to discern them yet, I guess. All right, make sure the razor is tight. Wait, I didn't put the blade in yet. Oh, because I just wanted to share. So here's the Rockwell. I want to start off with a setting number 4 on this guy. I have kind of sensitive skin, and usually I find that like on my Parker variant, which is a 1 to 6, I find that I can do my cheeks at a 3, but I have to usually reduce for my neck to something less aggressive. But I think and so for me, that's almost like half the range is used up on that Parker variant. You know, it's capable of a very aggressive shave, at least in my perspective. But this seems to be a little bit, it doesn't quite go as aggressive. And so for me, there's a larger spectrum that I can use. So I'm happy about the different settings because this has 6 settings as well. But it looks like I can make use of more of them, go a little higher than 3 like I do on the variant. Like the weight, the heavy weight of this razor. All right. I am going to start with the grain pass. My cheeks are straight up and down pretty much. They just go from top to bottom. This little zone over here is where everything ends up. And so it curls here, and then it starts over here and then curls that way. So I'm going to kind of stay with the grain at first. I'm really curious when this feather is going to start to not be so sharp. 5th use, pretty good, huh? Especially for it's good to get a good long life out of the more expensive blades, even if they are like 20 cents each or 30 cents each, right? I have made note in one other video about how the Rockwell Takes just a second longer to clear and rinse the soap away. But that's just a nature of the beast, with it having the interchangeable heads, the bottom piece at least. Just the way it has to be, I guess, and that's fine. Not a problem. All right, so that was the setting 4. Shoot, you know, one of these days, maybe tomorrow, I might try the setting 5, because that, maybe with a nice blade like feather, the setting 5 would be fine with me. And that was even I was even using the setting 4 on my neck. Nice. Yesterday I had some razor burn from the previous shave, just a few dots of it right here, so it didn't inflame those, I don't feel. I think that Stirling soap also provided some good protection. I'm not feeling slickness. My face has dried out more after the shave than it did before. That's interesting. Just get a little bit of water to restart things. Get some more lather. Of course, you know, this time when I did my pre-wash, I rinsed my face of the bloom water. I rinsed it off, and I think when I did the Stirling soap before, I did put the bloom water on, but I don't think I rinsed it off. So my skin is oily by nature, and so maybe if I don't wash the bloom water off, then the oils don't stay on my face, you know. I don't know how it all works. Yeah, there's some peaks, huh? All right, so now let's just try to lay on. I like laying on a nice thick layer, even if I'm on my second or third pass. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with that. Definitely not necessary from what I've read and seen. Cross grain pass now. Should we keep the setting 4? Sure, especially for the cheeks. Now, I did mention that this soap felt more dry. Maybe that's part of it, because I just went over this area. No, there's still slickness there for now. Little trivia question. Technique question. Do you guys find that neck stretching and skin stretching is really important? Or is it just marginally important to you? Or to the success of your shave? So these are all cross-grain strokes. I am toying with the idea of, or I'm debating. So here's my trouble spot area. Second pass. I'm going to go ahead and go hit it with the 4. Just maybe make sure I stretch it well. Maybe then I'll have better success with that. Because, man, that's where I get my razor burn. And a few little small cuts. Almost always, if they're going to happen, they're going to be right there. All right, so that's after the second pass. Feather, especially on the first two runs with the blade, will often get this area without me having to do any touch-ups. On the number 4 run, I did have to do touch-ups, so it seems that that it is losing a little bit of its edge. Yeah, they're there. See, there's a valley. It's a valley right there, and so that also makes it difficult. So what I'm going to do is see these little hairs right here. They're growing from here in this direction. So I'm going to put some lather on there and then come another across the grain, but I'm going to come from the other side. Splash a little water on my face. Be right back. All right. So the water's on there. You know what? I probably don't even need to do my cheeks. Nah, but it's fun anyway. I'll do them. I'm not really getting some of the different notes in the Old Spice type. It's like, for instance, this smell is not very spicy. Now it's a good fragrance. Also, some of them change. Like I was trying Barrister and Man's Bay rum, and I did not like it the first time I used it, not at all. But something changed, and I almost liked it the second time I used it. I don't know. So I'm going to kind of grind a little bit at that trouble spot area, just to make sure those hairs have been stirred up. I wonder, I'm going to take this head, switch it to the number 2 setting. I'm going to make it more mild. Also, check the blade alignment. Yeah, that one's just a little bit off, but not enough to make me try to, one of those situations where you overcorrect and you're just as off as you were before. It should be just fine. All right. You know, I might just start with with this guy down here. Work on my neck, stretching the right way here. Let's see. Oh. Okay, I missed it by a little bit. I'm going to put some of the cream back on. Sometimes when your face is full of cream, it's hard to remember exactly where some of those trouble spots are. But I'm sure after I get used to, after I get 1,000 shaves under my belt, 2,000, I won't have a problem. Let's see, we're going to come up from this way. Since my cheeks were already pretty well done, I didn't worry about doing the exact opposite cross grain motion. The blade feels very connected to this razor. Some other razors maybe don't hold it as, what it feels like is that the vise here is holding it closer to the tip, and so you get less chatter, less movement, maybe more precision that way. I'm not sure. That's just the way it feels like. It may not be. It may be holding it at the same distance as every other razor. Little touch-ups around the edge there. All right, let's take a look at the, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And no irritation. Fifth use, 5. Fifth use feather. Going strong. It may not do it after the second pass, but it did it after the third pass. And most razors, even in their first run, their first use, won't do that. So nice. Okay, so that, I think we're all done there. Yep, we're good. Nice. Okay, now I caught a whiff of that scent. Let me see here. There is some, okay, I'm smelling some more earthiness to it. Yeah, there are some more base notes instead of just that kind of high cologne smell that comes off right away. I'm glad I ordered it. It may not be exactly like the Old Spice, but I'm glad I ordered it. It's good. All right, so what's left is just a rinse, and I'll be right back. All right, so we did the rinse. I dried my face, and I have no irritation at all. It's terrific. Very smooth. You know, yesterday I was using the same razor. That was with the Sharp Dressed Man. Same razor, same blade. It was just one use newer, but just a different cream, and that's the only difference. And so I did the 4 on here in pass number 1, and I think maybe in pass number 2 is when I switched it to the 2, if I remember. And so now just no irritation. That's terrific. That's great. So today was Stirling Spice, the Whipped Dog 24mm Badger Silvertip. This is the Luna resin handle instead of the normal one. I've got big hands, and so I like the longer handle. Very happy with those brushes. Very happy with the Stirling soap. I have hard water. The lather was very well done, even in hard water. And now the only thing left to do is to do a little witch hazel. Normally in the past I've done Nivea at the end, and it's been great. But since I have oily skin, I wonder if a witch hazel might be a little better. Anyway, I'm trying it out. This is the insert for the 1 and the 3. So you get 3 inserts with your razor. And they did a really smart thing. With the 1, instead of putting the 1 and the 2, see, that's a very mild with another mild setting. But they skipped it. So 1 and the 3 are together, and the 2 and the 4 are together. And I think that's great. because usually you want maybe a moderate setting with a mild setting, so that you can start off moderate at first and then switch to mild for the sensitive areas. And so I think they did a great job there. And then, because a lot of people may not necessarily go into the 5 and 6 setting, the 5 and 6 are on their own bar. And so the first 4 settings are alternating. So 1 and 3, and then 2 and 4. But then the 5 and 6 are on their own head. So I think that was very well done of them. Very intelligently done. That's what I meant to say. So I'll hit my face with some witch hazel, and I don't think there's anything else to say. I hope this helped you in a little way. I still, some fragrances I smell a little bit in the beginning of the shave, and then you don't even notice them anymore. This is still very present, but it's very pleasant. Present and pleasant. And yeah, it's nice. It's light in the sense of there's not a lot of musky undertones to it. Any citrus? No, I don't think so. There's a tiny bit of like manly in there, like either herby, musk, a little bit of musky, just to kind of provide an offset to the soapy smell and to the kind of oceany or cologne-y type smell. I'm not really smelling the salt of the ocean or that kind of stuff. Mossy, maybe a little bit. Anyway, trying best to help you with the scent, to provide you with something else other than the descriptions that you might see by the manufacturer. So, hey, take care. You know what? One little addendum here. My face feels really good. Haven't put on anything after the shave. That speaks well for that soap. It feels good. I'm also a cold water shaver, and so I don't have to worry about my skin being all opened up or whatever, and needing to tighten it down with an alcohol or a cold water wash or something. That's one of the advantages of shaving cold. So I think pretty well. I could just walk on out and not even do the witch hazel. So that might be a little information for you. I want to do the witch hazel anyway because I'm just evaluating that in general. I am doing it as in a spray bottle, because I think that's a little bit more easily spread on my face. And so if I do happen to have some razor burn, then I'm not wiping my face like I would if I were to splash it on in a normal splash fashion. Plus I think it probably uses a little bit less. So, but no stinging at all, so that indicates a good condition of my skin during the shave. No sensitivity at all, so that's I think I might have breathed in some witch hazel. But there we go. So that's an excellent shave with no irritation. That lather did feel maybe a little more dry, like I had been explaining. Maybe that helped it to just offer protection and protection for my skin. All right, I think that'll be enough. Thank you.